21 August 2014. Just a quick run through my yard in Newcastle, Lawrence County, Pennsylvania. These are my dinner plate dahlias. They didn't do too good this year, but the colors are pretty nice. And I got a purple one and white one down here. And then I got a white one over here getting ready to open up. And they're nice sized. And these here are my cannas. We're in the process of putting a fence up. These are my fence posts, the railroad ties. I got this fence here that we just put up this year with railroad ties. And on the other side of the house I got more to put up. These are my begonias. They got a late start this year. This is 21 August 2014. Yeah, my bag of begonias disappeared. I couldn't find them. I finally found them last month in July, and I planted them so at least they could grow a little bit before I had to dig them back up. This is our yard, our garden, my landscaping I've been working on. This is my shed. Steel beams come from Walmart. They was going to scrap them, and I talked them into letting me have them. So I built this little lean-to, and I bought a tarp, and I used the tarp like a sunsetter awning. And the bricks are recycled bricks from buildings that was torn down here in Newcastle. So I built me a nice patio for nothing. I try to recycle everything I can. Now the tarp, because the rain will rip it down, what I did is I put a big pipe up there to where this side is lower than the other. And it lays in the center to channel the water off this side of the tarp into the yard. And then I'll park a cart right there where that dirt spot is to catch the rainwater as it comes off. But this is our yard, our backyard. This is my garden area. Those are green beans climbing up the fence. That's a 7-foot tall fence. And those are green beans. In front of it is my bell peppers. They ain't doing good at all this year. They got full of buds, but there's no peppers coming that I've seen yet. Then I got some cannas in here. The alley is higher than the yard, so to quit mowing a little hill there that runs up toward the fence right there, I put in a dry stacked wall and put my garden in there. This way I got my fence I can tie everything to, like I put my tomato cages up against the fence. You can see my tomato cages are in here. And then I zip strip them to the fence. I put two together, zip strip them together, and then zip strip it to the fence. That makes it to where it's good and strong, it won't fall over. Those are railroad ties used as fence posts. Some of these have been here for over 50 years. To keep them nice and black, I use a combination of foundation coating and gasoline and mix it and brush it on. They'll be shiny, real shiny for about a week. Then the shininess goes away and they go to this dull black. And even on the hottest days, that won't come off on you. This is my tomatoes. And more green bell peppers through here, but the deer have been getting in here eating them up. What's left of my peas on the fence, the deers knocked them all down and ate them up, so I didn't get no peas this year. My upper fence up here fell down, up at this end. You could see it up there. It fell down up there, so I'm in the process of fixing it, and until then the deer come right down in my yard. 2 o'clock in the afternoon they'll be out here digging through my yard, so I'm kind of fighting a losing battle at the moment. This plant here, nobody seems to know what it is. Some people are telling me it's a tree begonia, but I don't know. All I know is the plant is huge. These leaves are massive. Give you an idea how big it is. Here's my hand on one. That's how big them leaves are. So it's a big thing. The stems, these stems here are hollow and they're red. Up here you could see a bud of some kind coming. I'm not sure what it is. some kind of a flowering plant, but it's very pretty. The colors are beautiful on it. Like I said, the leaves are massive. That's a small leaf. Here's the bigger one. It's a very massive plant. Right now, I'd say it's about 9 feet tall. Hard to see the whole plant when you're up against it. That's a 7-foot fence, and that's about 2 feet taller. So it's about 9 feet tall. But this is the plant I'm trying to figure out what it is. And no one seems to be able to tell me what it is other than it could be a tree begonia. This come from down in Virginia. Down around Winchester, Virginia. So, I think that's the flower head coming, or a seed pod, one or the other. All I know is when it's done, I definitely want more of these, so I'm trying to get the seeds from it. The seeds are about the size of a pea, and they're brown, dark brown with a white spot on it. Almost looks like popcorn. And then up here is my upper lot. I've been slowly working on. I got some weeding and trimming to do up in here. Those are rows of Sharons I'm shaping into balls. I got too many of them in that row I need to take out, you know, a couple of them. I got about 3 of them I need to get out of there. So, if I find someone that wants them, I'll just give it to them. These walls are all dry stacked. This way you save money on your taxes. The only bad thing is about every 3rd year or so, one of them will start leaning, so you gotta move it out of there, dig it, tamp it, and put it all back. But for not having your taxes raised because of the work you're doing, it's worth a little bit of hassle. So this here, I built these walls. Anyone that has a big hill coming down into their yard, give you an idea why I've built these walls. Every time it rains, your yard will flood or your house basement will flood. With building these walls, that slows the water down coming down the hill, and it builds behind it, and it soaks into the water table underground and goes under the ground. This way it ain't in your yard. So that makes it nice. And then over here is my other flower bed. There's Mr. Squirrel. He come to see me. But this is my other flower bed. The wall that supports this at the other side is made from busted up city sidewalks. I just ask them for them and they give them to me. These are my white bark birches. I'm going to be digging them out and moving them, I think. I'm going to be doing a few more changes around this yard. I do all this work myself. I'm a disabled vet, so I do it when I'm able to do it. And the heavier work has to wait for my children to help. Or my brother. He's a big help. He comes and helps me a lot. Like I told him, I'm the brains and he's the muscle. But I just redid this jungle gym. I just stripped it down and resanded it and stained it and varnished it, so it's looking nicer. That's been here since about 2004, but yet everyone says it looks brand new. But when you take care of things, that's what happens. These steps here is all dry stacked. You can see that right down here, it's starting to lean. And that's what it does. Without cementing, this is what you'll get. But you know, for every third year you go around and fix it. I can deal with that, you know, just so I have these looks, you know. And then if I get tired of looking at it this way, I can change it. Now later, I want to come up here, right up here between the top step and that board up there. I want to build a little platform and build like a 6x6 shed that looks like an old outhouse. This way I can store all my potting stuff in there. You know, this way it gives it that old look. Up here you can see my fence fell down. Right there under that plastic, and this plastic over here is holes already dug for the railroad ties. We're just waiting to get one to come in with the quad to help drag the railroad ties up here, because that's a long way to go up. You can see over here where we finished repairing and replacing the fence that used to be up along the front. There was one there years and years ago, and it rotted to the point where it was down behind the hedges and no one could even tell it was there. So we rebuilt it. I'm trying to get rid of a tree stump down there, so I built a circle of fire brick around it. We've been burning in it, trying to get rid of the tree stump. And then up here is like my staging area for my hostas and stuff. Every time I dig a plant up, I divide it. This way I can get more of them. 90% of my yard is perennial. This way I don't have to keep replanting. So just about everything here is perennial. But this is just a quick tour of my yard, what it looks like. Show you down here. I'll show you the wall built from city sidewalks. This is my wall built from city sidewalks. They make beautiful walls. You just got to make sure you ask before you take them, because sometimes they're using it to landfill somewhere else. So if you just start taking, they might holler at you. So it's always good to ask people. They're more than likely going to give you what you want. You just ask nicely. But since we've been here, we've lived here for over 12 years. I've lived here actually my whole life. But this was my mother's house. Now it's my house. So we're landscaping it, fixing it up. But this is what my yard looks like as of 21 November, or not 21 November, as of 21 August 2014. I couldn't think of the date. This is our yard and our garden. I got a lot of work to do in here. I got a bunch of the irises in here I got to dig up and thin. Some lilies to move, some daylilies. I want to widen this flower bed at the base of the wall just a little bigger. It's kind of small for what I got in there. So I want to bring the lawn edging out a little further. You can see it's in there. It's just underneath stuff. So I want to bring it out a little further, and those are about ready to be rejuvenated. I should have done it last month, but I've just had a new roof put on, new furnace, new electrical box put in, so this is kind of like put on the back burner for now. There's our swimming pool. My shed. Use a tarp for my makeshift sunsetter awning. This way I got a nice patio, 8 by 24, 8 by 25 under my shed. Everything takes some time. All you gotta do is just do a little bit at a time. Trial and error, a little bit of experimenting. These are peonies along the top of the wall. I'm going to be digging them out and moving them to a new location, because they should have been in the back, because they are taller than the plants that's behind it, which you never do that. But at the time I was just trying to get them planted so I could get work done. So now that all the plateaus and everything's built, maybe eventually I'll start moving this stuff around to its permanent place. But I thought I'd take you through a trip through the yard so you could see what my yard looks like. It's starting to rain, so I guess this is over. Hope everyone enjoyed it. Everyone have a nice day. Thank you.